Today we're going to discuss the best low investment commanders in Rise of Kingdoms in 2025. Yes, compared to sculptures, equipment, and armaments, the least quote-unquote important one is going to be sculptures because you get them from like various different events, from VIP, etc. However, yes, for high spenders or people who've been playing the game for a really long time and who are very conservative when it comes to spending their sculptures, they're not going to have issues when it comes to expertising their commanders, aka having the enough sculptures. However, for everyone else, sculptures are still a major part of the game, which is, for some people, as I said, is still a bottleneck. And because of that, it is important to know which commanders gives you the best value per sculpture that you spend, but in 2025. Because back in the day, there were more good low investment commanders. However, right now, the power creep is insane. You cannot just use any commander because it is good with low investment. That commander has to be meta. For example, Nebuchadnezzar. If you look at his skills, you're gonna think, if I somehow manage to skip his rally skill, looks like he can work so good with low investment. But he is not meta, he's not strong anymore. Or Saladin, 5551 Saladin, one of the best low investments in Rise of Kingdoms, but not in 2025, because even though his skill set is so good, it fits so well to low investments, he's just not powerful enough. That is one of the major things that we need to keep in mind. Now, as you can see, I have two different tiers, fight and utility. Fight tier is going to be the commanders that you can use for field fighting, even with low investment. No expertise is needed. And utility is for other things. For example, a commander could be really good in a specific game mode with super low investment, or it could be really good for bar chaining, etc. Now, let's start with the fighting section. The first commander I'm going to mention is going to be Scipio Prime. Scipio Prime's expertise is, I think, really good, but it was even better before the release of Ragnar Prime. Because we always use Scipio with Guan Yu primary and Scipio secondary. And Scipio's expertise, half of it, gives you extra rage or increases your rage gain speed when you are attacking silenced targets. However, right now, the meta, the best skill damage infantry march is actually Ragnar with Scipio. And because of that, like 90% of people who do have Ragnar Prime, they benched Guan Yu. This means the number of silences in the field reduced dramatically, and because of that, the expertise is not as good as it was before. But still, all of the skills are amazing. I think 5551 CPO can work so well with Ragnar Prime or Liu Che as the secondary. So Ragnar CPO or CPO Liu Che, even with 390 sculptures, shouldn't be a problem. I think this is, we have to mention CPO Prime. The next one is John Prime, one of my favorite low investments, because not only you can get away with 390 sculptures, but if you are in a lower seed kingdom, you can certainly get away with 190 sculptures. All you need to do is to max her first skill and the fourth one, which is based on luck. It's not guaranteed because you cannot lock specific skills. So I would say you're going to need, unless you're super lucky, you're going to need a lot of skill resets to get her to 5115. But when you think about it, you are going to save so many sculptures. So I would say it is 100% worth it. I would try it. I did try it twice and I got it on the both times. So definitely try to get your Joan to 5115. However, if you do have some extra sculptures, let's say you already have enough to expertise the next meta commander, and then you can invest your extra sculptures to get your Joan to, instead of 5115, to 5515. It is also a really good low investment option, as I said, if you do have some extra sculptures. Of course, it's going to be 200 sculptures more expensive, but it is going to perform well because her second skill is not as important as the fourth one. Fourth one gives you the 100% chance for a double cast, but it's still really good. All three commanders are going to be, for the fighting section, are going to be Prime commanders, legendary commanders with the epic versions. Next one, as you can see, is Hermann Prime. Now, this could be controversial. Let me know in the comment section down below if you agree or disagree. Now, I'm not saying that expertise of Hermann Prime is not good. I think it is nice. However, in a real-life battle scenario, it is a little bit too slow. If I remember correctly, you need to be stacking your poisons, I guess, 25 times so that you get the value out of this expertise. So in real-life open-field battles, it's not like Sunset Canyon, it's not like Lost Canyon. People don't fight until the marches are dead. They go in, attack a little bit, then retreat, then go in again, then retreat. Like, it's always a back and forth. And in a scenario like that, getting your poison stacks to all the way to 25 is not that very realistic. Unless you use your Hermann, of course, with Tommy, but I don't really recommend that much unless you are a super heavy archer player. So I would say a 5551 Hermann Prime. Again, I'm repeating myself, but his expertise is good on paper, but it is not very realistic to expect to get full value out of that expertise every single time. So a 5551 is, I think, a really, really good low investment. Last but not least, we're going to talk about whole cubing. This guy is weird because I know a lot of people who are not chaining barbarians. If you're chaining barbarians with whole cubing, you have to expertise him. If not, people are using him as 5555. I know it's a little bit weird because 5555 equals expertise, but what they do is they do not hit the expertise button. They don't unlock the expertise, they just max all the skills. Because what expertise does, it resets your rage for other benefits, but obviously those other benefits are not good enough. So people don't want to reset their rage. This means all of his 4 skills are really, really strong. So if you don't need an expertise on a commander, you can certainly use it as a low investment, because whole cubing right now is one of the meta cavalry commanders in the game. So you can use him with, let's say, 5553 or 5552. Doesn't matter. Or maybe you try to skip the 3rd skill for some reason. You try to max the 4th one, but it doesn't matter. What I'm trying to say is you don't have to expertise him. Most people don't expertise him, even though they do have all the skills maxed. So clearly, he can be used as a low investment. Now, when it comes to utility, I'm going to be very quick about this section. The first commander that I want to mention is Richard I. If you get your Richard in an early game to 5111, he's going to serve you really well when it comes to the sustain commander for your Barb Shading March, and also in game modes like Sunset Canyon, Lost Canyon, etc. So I would say for the amount of sculptures that you need to spend, it's an okay investment, if of course you do have that luxury. The next one is going to be Shajar. Now, Shajar is a little bit weird because you actually don't need to spend any sculptures on her. The reason for that is I put her in the utility section because, again, it's going to be for Barb Chaining. If you only unlock all 4 skills of your Shajar and don't invest any sculptures, so the skill configuration is going to be 1111. Even though she has no skill upgrades, she still sustains so good. So if you're looking at secondary for your Barb Chaining March, Shajar 1111 is just amazing because you don't spend any sculptures, you just spend Tome of Knowledges and a little bit of a gold stars, and you are good to go. Because of that, she had to be included in the list. And finally, I want to mention our dear friend, good old Constantine. A 5511 Constantine, it's a, for a low investment, it's a hefty investment because it requires 190 sculptures. However, if for some reason you want to perform half decent in Sunset Canyon, Lost Canyon, etc., like those type of game modes, you must have a 5511 Constantine. I'm not saying that if you don't have the meta commander's expertise at this moment, I'm not saying go ahead and spend your sculptures on Constantine. Don't do that. But when you have some extra sculptures, and if, again, you want to perform at least half decent in Canyon game modes, you do need a 5511 Constantine, and because of that reason, I'm going to put him in the utility section. But these 4, I think, are the absolute best performance that you really don't need to expertise ASAP or anytime soon. Hope you guys liked it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you on the next video. Make sure to subscribe for more Rise of Kingdoms videos. Take care and goodbye.